assault rifle.
Tactical pool noodles.
Okay,
So
are we
for-
waiting for anyone aside from Cadet, or do you guys want me to start streaming?
So wait, do we not have anyone from AN at all?
Oh yeah, Luca needs to get in here.
Yeah,
I
he's
think he
he's
just-
joining. He's in the AFK channel on TeamSpeak, so he should have it. I did send him.
I think we should
let's wait,
all
like-
hold the meeting in PSC sim.
Let's,
KBC is having Flippy Marvin. What about Omar Sharktooth?
He's working on his car right now.
No.
Let's try to wait on at least either Luca or Cadet.
Flippy
before we
is
start.
currently
Lucas
running in the
I see him,
90s.
I see him.
So we can set up an Olive
Oh,
Garden to
gee.
go eat at, right? Just a big old
I
Yeah.
meeting. I'm
wonder
really,
if
really
somebody has actually recreated an Olive Garden somewhere in us.
I think we should. I
Absolutely.
think we should all just hang out in McDonald's.
How about the Lord Burger?
Dude,
Ryu, is Ghost coming? Ryu's muted.
Well, thank goodness on YouTube it just says the stream is starting soon. Now I can leave everyone in suspense.
Do we have anybody from XAF? Pete Inca or Meritum?
XAF still exists?
Yeah.
Holy sh!
Yeah, I was gonna try and raid him today, and nobody was on.
That kind of existence, barely existing.
I swear they were in the Discord. They must have either left the Discord completely or... Oh no, Miriam's in the Discord, but they're not online. Hang on, I'll be right back.
I'll be right back as well.
Oh, Suffolk came on in time. So yeah, there should be 2 AN, Luca and Suffolk.
And then we're still not getting Patrick Paz, Delian AR.
Yeah, who needs them?
Is Pandorium Alliance, is that still...
I hope. Well, I hope so. I still think I have to make like a rail cannon for them or something. I don't know if somebody else has done that yet, or I've just been like really lazy recently. So
There's no Olive Garden on the marketplace.
They're not going to sell the whole thing.
Not even a breadstick.
Okay, I'm
If you're
back.
telling me there's no breadsticks on the marketplace, I'm going to call bullshit.
Okay,
All right,
maybe.
is anyone from freaking AN or is that here yet?
We were waiting for Sephiroth. Somebody said Sephiroth was online, and then nobody can get a hold of Proteus. But Luca, somebody said Luca was online as well. So.
Yeah. I'd at least like to start with someone from AN, because, I mean...
I'm back.
Luca's an idiot.
Pete from XAF is talking in general.
Luca is riddled with PTSD.
What else is new? Hey, I'm back, by the way, from the dog bark.
I'm so glad.
Has the meeting begun yet?
We're waiting on a couple people. There's no one from AN here to talk for AN right now, so we're
I'm
basically
surprised that
waiting on
XAF is even here.
Well,
XAF should come back. I really like beating them,
Megiddo needs to come back for real, though.
dude. Yeah,
I
man.
keep on telling Shark Paulino to bring back fucking Megiddo. He doesn't listen to me.
I think
Somebody,
he's cited
I'd
doing
try it.
stuff recently, like Shark.
I gave him a sim and built it for him and everything, and then I went up to do some gold mining for a few days in the mountains. When I came back, they wrecked the whole fucking place, man. So I said, you know what? You guys got a bad attitude and you fucked all this shit up that I worked on for a week, and now guess what? You're out of here.
Well, it's Shark. It's his way or the highway.
Actually, he was very nice, and I get along with Sharky very well. What the problem was, there was too many cooks in the kitchen, and a lot of people had their hands in the admin thing, and somebody returned like most of everything in the whole damn place and fucked it all up. But some of the stuff didn't get returned properly, and they couldn't just restore in world and all that. It was all messed up. So then they blamed the bad part about it was they blamed me for it and said while I was gone, I changed my mind and did it myself and kicked and did all this. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I was like
From the mountains.
I was in
Okay,
the mountains. You don't even get
all
cell
right.
phone reception up there, you know?
Raven.
Huh.
We're about to start the stream.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, and before we do start, I just want to give everybody a heads up. In order to keep these meetings, productive and efficient and on the right track, we want to limit you guys, basically shit posting and just, talking about these other guys who did this when and all that kind of things. We have better stuff to talk about. We can discuss it later, but for right now, let's try to stay on topic and as best you can be as respectful as possible, to the other people here. Because once again, this only works if everyone's involved.
Do you know
Also,
who you're talking to?
Yeah,
And this
Dark
is specific-
Sleeper. You know what Dark Sleeper did last night? No, I'm just kidding.
this is specifically for Dark and other people. Please, I know you can, and just please don't post anything that would get us banned off YouTube.
God, why do you tell him things like that? Have you met this guy before? What
Well,
the hell is
I
wrong
have
with
to
you?
always repeat it. I
Whatever
think
you
I
do,
said it
Dark
last
Sleeper,
time.
don't put your hands in the cookie jar while we're not looking.
Oh my god.
What's wrong with you? He probably didn't
Did
think
anybody
about
have
doing
any
that
points
until
over the past
you-
week that they wanted to bring up in this meeting specifically?
Wait, what?
Do you know who you're dealing with?
What did you say, Silo?
Were there any points that were discussed over the past week that people wanted to bring up specifically, or are we going
Yes.
to go back to the last?
Yes, I do.
I have a new one
I do.
also.
Yes, I
it
do.
hasn't been discussed before, but let me know when it's my turn, and then I'll.
All right, Dark Sleeper, you said it first, but what would you
Okay,
like to talk
let me
about?
actually start streaming. I was just editing some settings because I did realize I
Oh.
can actually block image previews
Are we
on
live?
Discord. Oh, we're about to be.
Are we live now?
3, 2, 1. We're live.
Are we live?
Are we live?
We're live.
Here's John.
Just record.
Are we alive?
Is this
Go,
thing on?
Dark Sleeper, go.
Are we live?
Yes.
We're live right now?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I have something to bring up in regards to Decoy. Decoy is currently harboring two fugitives of justice, being Rio and Ghost Menjao. They are wanted for war crimes against the Rhodinian people and trying to initiate a civil war. I would like that to be addressed.
Okay. It's been addressed. All right, next thing.
A personal problem to me. I don't know.
Okay.
It's not a
there
that's
is-
not a community
there is-
problem, is it? Really?
There-
How does
there
that
It is a
is
affect?
community
some-
problem.
How does it
there is
affect the
something I
community?
wanted to
Let
bring
Will
up.
Slam
in
talk
this
because he
regarding-
actually has something to say.
I'm part of the community and I'm offended, so therefore it's a problem.
Zane, tell me why.
Okay. The sim. Nicole mentioned last meeting that she would be able to provide a sim for perhaps a training grounds for an introduction to the SLMC. I was just really wondering if any headway was made on that since last meeting, or has nothing been done.
I'm not sure. I know we added a bunch of people, and we allowed the people who wanted to be involved in that project to have group chat rights on the Second Life group, Project Genesis. But I haven't been online, so can anybody let me know if? I'm not
Yeah,
sure who
'cause-
was.
I think I kind of just been left on the back burner for that one, so I haven't really heard anything.
Do we want to take people and put them somewhere else that's not here in the?
Well, we decided against that
Would it
because
be
there's a lot
better-
of people that already
Wait a
have
minute,
8,000
I wasn't
groups.
really done yet. Hold on, that was a two-part thing, I suppose. So would it be better to maybe incorporate that idea into this same location. That way, when they come here, they're here, and then they go over there and do a little training thing, and then they go out to the field. It's all in one place. You want to keep it. You don't want the people to leave. You want to keep them in the store, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Would it be a better idea to keep them here and have a smaller training area that goes through the basics, maybe give them a note card, showing some basic things, because there's a lot of wasted space I could say that I see that could be used for something else. Like, for instance, all that part of the sim that's on the same side of the wall that the safe zone is on, that could be all the training area. And then once you go across the big wall with the barbed wire into the bigger area, then maybe that could be the regular combat. You know what I'm saying? Then we could split it up, and then they could make that transition, and we keep everybody in the same sim. I think it's just probably better that way. I don't know. What do you think? I'm not getting any response there.
Okay, I guess it would be a nice idea to have a lot of the people who are discussing the introduction to the, SLMC kind of sim thing or whatever idea you guys got going in the group or Discord, because it would keep a lot of the people who are also in the SLMC informed about what's going on, and help them understand, and also maybe have some input on what exactly is going on.
Oh, I think there's two. Maybe I misunderstood the subject. From what I was understanding was that there was somebody that had some extra space in another sim they were going to dedicate to like a training area, right? That new people would come here. People would come here and they would get that information and a link, and or a landmark, and they would go there to do the training and come back. What I'm saying is there's a lot of space here. We don't want them to leave. We want them to be here and stay here, train here, go fight here. The people that are around here most of the time are people that could also help these people. I mean, because there's always, a trade-off of people who's coming and going. Some people may be available to help these new people. And if the training ground's right there and you're right there and they're right there, and you happen to be doing combat and you get killed, you come back and you see there's this new person looking like, what the hell's going on? Maybe you could say, hey, I'll take a break and let's go over here. I'll show you how to do this. And then you can come out there in the main field. It's all together in one place.
Isn't that kind of like what New Jesse is for like just random ass combat? And then like, I understand. It's like, when you first start Second Life and there's a tutorial island that you're on, that's essentially what we're going to do with like a combat island. It's like a tutorial area to introduce people into the combat. And at the end, it's just like, yeah, you can go here to New Jesse to fight till your heart's content or attack a random military. And if you want, you can always come back here and learn a new thing.
Well, you can do that too, and incorporate that same system in this sim. That way they're not leaving. Do you understand? You don't want the people to leave the store, man. You want all the community to be together. It's a metaphor, my friend. You don't want people to leave the community. You don't want to separate them. You want to bring as many people together in the same place as possible for the most interaction and networking and trading of information.
The issue with bringing a lot of people into a training area, actually, let me see if my mic's noticed on one. Okay, so the issue with bringing a lot of people into a training area at once is that if you keep those people there while they're learning how to use combat, like, number one, you leave the area more susceptible to like accidental grief, and number two, it just becomes more laggy. Like, it's important for the environment to be lag free and just like a crash course into the SLMC, then get out. I mean, you can come back and like relearn concepts or even advanced concepts or like learn from people, but there's no reason for people to stay there like while they're not doing anything.
How many people do you think would be using that facility at a time? You're not going to get a giant crowd of people. Know. How many new people come every day that go, I don't know what to do?
I don't know. We don't have metrics for this kind of thing.
Well, also, look around in your personal experience and ask yourself, how many new people that have you met in New Jesse that's never done combat before in the last month?
Okay. The problem, yeah, but the thing is that the reason why we would do something like teach people how to do combat is because the idea of coming into a community like the SLMC is kind of hostile to begin with, because you have to learn completely new concepts, and the only way you can learn those concepts is if you learn them yourself through experience, which is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
Or you join a group, which can put you on the wrong side of the fence sometimes. Maybe you don't want to be a part of certain military after you've decided you've learned about the SLMC. And that has happened a lot of the time with a lot of groups. People have gotten used to combat, and they find that the taste or the experience that the military is offering isn't just for them. They leave and join a new group, and that kind of puts the group sometimes in a bad situation, because that can keep happening.
All right. Well, basically, let me distill it down to my single idea. I want a synergy of the training and the combat area, and that's it. Keep the people all in one place. Let's all get together and make a community. If you start putting people in other sims, you're breaking the shit up.
Hey, that sounds like Combat Continent would work, but hey, that didn't work.
I'm just
Here's-
saying it's not going to be laggy because there's not going to be that many people going through the program. You can have a small area dedicated to that. They could easily jump from one side to the other. And
Hey, all right, Raven. Let me
that's all I'm saying.
really quickly. Someone else wants to donate a full sim in order to train people who are new to the SLMC. Not a full sim, a homestead. But if we have that much land, please let me finish.
Okay.
If we have that much land, I think it would be great to utilize it. I'm trying to understand what you're getting across, and if you're wanting to put it all in the same place, I think you can speak further to Kane about possibly connecting those two homesteads.
That's a good idea. That's a real good idea.
And that could work. As far as people discussing, what they want to do for the new training sim, since the Second Life chat, I think a lot of people are missing a lot of what's going on. I would actually like to, and I'm going to bring this up to Haven. I'm going to create a channel within this Discord so that people who are interested in that project could be invited to that channel, and that's where they could discuss it. And that way you can keep tabs on everything that's been said rather than losing it every time you log off. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, the way I'm seeing it is there's not enough people to even warrant wasting your time and your money in a homestead sim to build a training area for people that aren't even going to come. There's nobody there. It's a weak crowd. You're building a giant palace for nothing. It's like what they do in China. They build these huge malls and nobody goes
Just
there.
make New Jesse a full sim and then just do it there because people are going to want to come to New Jesse anyway. And I thought the original goal was to make New Jesse a hub for the SLMC anyway. So
There's the
That's
problem
even
is
another, that's a better way to go.
there's a problem because there are certain people within the community who believe that New Jesse is not necessarily the neutral. For the record, those are not my opinions.
no one really is anymore.
But because of that, I think it was Proteus and someone else, I can't remember who else, who said they were making a secondary sim, which was Brazil.
Right, they did.
So there was talks about not necessarily centralizing the combat hub, but rather having, different places that, we can point to, and just trying to, optimize all of these places as far as...
I mean, to be fair, Proteus's points that he makes against New Jesse are kind of fair to make.
I won't deny it.
The leader of New Jesse is taking a personal stance against him through personal relationship things. From what I understand, I don't know exactly the details, but I think that's probably not fair to on a community level, since the other guys
I don't know. I've done a lot of the things that Proteus has done, and I'm not banned yet. That's
what I'm talking about.
You were saying Welsh Lamb?
One of the things that New Jesse irks me about, having something like that in New Jesse is that I find that a lot of the time, in comparison to some other sims, as well as in comparison to how, we would believe this training program to be, New Jesse is way too relaxed to be friendly to new players. Especially with the fact that you can basically just run around with a lot of things that exploit the rules and get away with it. And in fact, certain people do get away with it very often. So
I think once again this comes down to the fact that, if not everyone believes that New Jesse is completely neutral. I personally believe that New Jersey is about as neutral as possible, but there's also Brazil, you know, and Brazil, people who don't like New Jersey seem to like Brazil. So we don't necessarily, there's no reason per se to have one single sim that is optimized as the quote unquote hub for the SLMC. We can optimize both places and kind of draw people into, you know, Brazil, New Jersey, or whatever other sim somebody wants to, you know, label as combat neutral, as long as they're all showcasing all armies within the SLMC, and you know they're allowing any member from any army there. I don't think it matters, you know, your feelings about it. The more the merrier.
I was made aware last night of a disparity in in the group within Powers of the group. Like somebody said to me, "Did you know, Raven? Everybody in that group, there's an admin at New Jersey, but you. Did you know that? Why did they leave you out?" And I said, "Heck, I didn't even think about it, to be honest with you, but I'll have to bring that up and see what they have to say about that." I'm not sure that everybody's an admin.
Once again, we can, if we want to talk about personal matters between people and groups, we can be here all day.
And it's not a personal matter. I'm a member of this community,
Raven.
and everybody's an admin, and I'm asking, why am I not an admin?
Raven, just to let
Somebody
you know,
put that up.
Raven, there's no one in Vox Aeron that is actually a admin at New Jersey.
There is nobody in All Hollows that is an admin at New Jersey either.
I'm an
There's
admin
no one
at
in
New
Chaos
Jersey.
who's an admin at New Jersey.
Okay.
Likewise
I don't
with
need, I don't
Nero.
necessarily want to be an admin. I'll be totally honest with you. I could care less.
Great, because no one else is. Next topic.
PSC
Okay,
is an
good.
admin in New Jersey.
That's fine. Next topic.
There's sorry, go on, Zachi.
I kind of like the idea of having a homestead that is there specifically to train new people who do not know anything about the SMC, and we could even use it as educational purposes for like groups who are wanting to try and teach other groups other methods like scripting or meshing or whatnot, and we could do like other like combined efforts there as well.
That's a good idea.
You know,
a combined SLMC educational sim.
I think that'd be fantastic. I
That's
think
great.
there's nothing better than, you know, helping to inspire content creators, and I think that's a fantastic idea. Once again, I'm gonna, in order to get all these in one place, I'm going to have Haven create a new channel within this Discord. If you want to be added to that channel, if you want to help, if you're a content creator, if you are a scripter, if you are a mesher, if you are interested in helping train people and you have experience with that, please contact me via Discord with your name and you know what you would like to do. I'm gonna copy and paste my Discord name and number here, and you know, or if you have somebody within your group, give them my Discord name, my
Dark
Discord
Secret
number,
can help.
and send me an IM, and then later on during the day, I'll have all of you added to that channel in order to work on that more.
Can you just I mean, add me. I can combat. I'm the combat trainer.
I got something I actually like to suggest that I'm not sure if anyone suggests this. I know Chaos, and I might be late to this, so if I missed it, please stop me. This might have already been covered, but I know Chaos has been giving out freebie scripts.
This has already been covered.
Fleet ships and stuff. And I was just wondering, has anyone considered the possibility of like a freebie bin, where you put things through a filter to make sure it's, you know, approved for basic standards, so you don't give out a bunch of freebie OP stuff, but like every army, every person can give away. Yeah, just a bunch of freebie stuff in general, like freebie rifles, freebie pistols, freebie armor, just a freebie bin basically everyone can give and pick from.
We talked about this in the first meeting. Like, I don't even know if the first meeting is actually on YouTube. That's my bad if it's not, because I think Van reported that.
See, I wasn't sure because I've been preoccupied with a lot of stuff, so I've come in a
I
little
want
bit
the
late.
Chaos Fleet ship. Nobody gave me the Chaos Fleet ship. Come on.
We gave out our fleet core like a year ago or something.
I must not have been paying attention. Never mind.
Anyway, speaking on that, and also just to add one last thing to the sim discussion, I really think we should just kind of leave it to the people who actually have the sim and like want to develop for it, because like at this point we're just kind of throwing suggestions out to the wind, and like there's nothing to show for it. But I mentioned the tournament thing a couple days ago, and basically all that's left to do is to have people run around with, because the guns are out. There's an authentication system for them. All we have to do is just have people run around with the guns and set a date for the events and like organize them a little better and like work out what sponsorships are and stuff. So, for instance, I had Kobe Mesha Trophy. I gave him 3K Linden, and I'm offering him a coercion sponsorship. And Alliance Name is getting a sponsorship because Sufrot spent the time scripting guns and stuff for the tournament. So,
You guys
if you want to
should-
have, sorry, what?
Sorry if I may interject, but you guys should totally have some of the very few but existing businesses for weapons and SL sponsor the event as well.
Possibly, but we're starting this with the basis of the SMC, and like unless other people take notice of it, I mean, we're probably going to do like stuff for Vice and stuff too, but that's not here nor there right now. Let me find if I have Kenny's right up. Yes, I do.
I know Tyro is covering and boss and all of it and so on, but actually I'm just gonna let Tyro talk over it. Never mind.
Okay,
What
so
is
I'm probably
doxing?
I'm not telling everyone like everything that's in the document and everything in there is subject to change. Like that is not a 100% unchangeable document, but it's just like kind of a rough outline of what we want to do. But essentially, it boils down to everyone's going to use the same gun. There's going to be authentication system for this gun and those guns and stuff like that, and the tank and the rocket launcher and the HUD with a grenade and a 5-meter dodge roll. It's kind of like we tried our best to like make it based around the groups, like to the point where like the rifle's dynamic spread and the pistol is a static spread for groups that are used to dynamic and static spread. So hopefully it'll be a good balance of enough things that everyone is used to for everyone, but nothing that one group is going to be good at. Like we even lowered the RPM on the assault rifle because Chaos is used to high RPM and not a lot of people are.
Are you? But you guys are pretty much ready to launch that whole idea right now.
I don't want to set a date. I think I'm like a week away from actually setting a date because I would like to have it get tested and like start distributing it and like find bugs before the bugs find us.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, another thing that I spoke to Tyro about with it, and I don't know if he would have changed his mind on this, but Tyro interject if I'm wrong on this. But I thought it would be cool if people could like submit their sims and like if it's a fair sim, like if it's a very balanced battleground, Tyro can go and check it out with whoever else he takes.
Well, the idea was so the idea would be like the two teams that would like be starting like one side would pick the sim, however the other side would pick the spawn point they get for that sim. So it would incentivize the person picking the sim you fight on to pick a balanced sim, because if they don't pick a balanced sim, then the people they're fighting can pick a spawn point that is going to be clearly advantageous to them.
I think that sounds like a great idea. I think if you're going to be testing it over this next week, I guess next week at the next Project Genesis meeting, we can announce, how to get there and what to do. And
what I'll probably do is like I'll test it like throughout the week. Like I want to do it with some Chaos and AN guys. Never got around to bugging people about it. Like I haven't gotten around to actually doing the permissions on the guns correctly, so I haven't given them out yet. So that'll all be a thing.
Yeah, I guess we'll circle back around in that next Project Genesis meeting.
Yeah, I'm just letting everyone know that like it's getting like it's not just we're not spinning our wheels here. Like we even have a very bare bones and like do-it-yourself flag system. Like basically like you it's a prim that follows you around and only follows you if you crash into it and you're in another group. And you can capture it, and like if you die, if you teleport or dodge roll really far, like through lag or something, the flag stays where it is. So
I think another thing for it that should be done, and again I don't know if Tyro's agreed on this or not, but I think it would be nice if people wrote down what members will be playing. I still believe it would be 10v10 max. I don't know if Tyro changed that. Just so like
let's not worry about it too much. I don't think 10v10 just because like on homesteads it'd be really difficult to get in people to record because what's going to happen is during the fights we are going to have people recording and we're going to have commentators, and part of the sponsorship is going to be that like you get to commentate over the fights.
Do you think
like
yeah.
I'm not sure every fight. Maybe I don't know like how we're gonna handle that, but it'll be a thing. And
You know,
well, the point I was gonna make from it was more everything would be displayed publicly, would it not? Like there would be a scoreboard displayed publicly. You know, who would be fighting who next, who's.
That might be a little difficult for the first one, Kenny.
Oh, okay.
In the vein of commentating and spectating the matches, I know that TJ Cataneo, who's in Coercion right now, developed a system, just some little project of his a long time ago, that allowed you to actually peer first person into somebody else's avatar, like what they were doing and where they were looking.
Yeah, Dread has that as well.
Open sourcing a product like that anyone can use just from a HUD would be really useful for that.
I believe we did give out the Observer HUD at some point, but like I'm sure not a lot of people have it.
Robert Comanche's the guy that made that, so you could ask him if you're on good terms with him.
But anyway, the way because the sponsorships are kind of like, I don't really know how they're going to work out, or even if like it's like if your group makes a trophy or makes something for the tournaments, like if the way we're doing sponsorships is like equal to just giving you a commission, this sponsorship will be extended like for like the next tournament and maybe the next tournament after that, just because like I'm not sure if it'll be fair to just say, oh, we'll just give you shout outs so that you commentate instead of giving you $15, you know? So that's all I really have to say on that. If you guys
are there prizes for that, or is it?
Yes. Well, for now there will be trophies, but down the line we want to like actually offer people like gun commissions and like sim rent and stuff like that. Cool. But we're doing trophies for now because like trophies are really easy to make and they're a thing that you can show off.
Okay, cool.
Hey, there was an idea that was brought to my attention, and I just wanted to get your comments on it. Like, this is more in terms of drawing more people to the SLMC, like a month-long event, which would be like a military expo with like advertisements and such from every military.
Where would we hold that at? I mean, where would we go?
It'd be a homestead sim, which Flippy, if with enough people to support it, is interesting.
We'd have to advertise that.
Too easy. Too easy. I got Photoshop. I got enough funds to throw at a homestead for a month, no problem.
Why not just turn New Jersey into a temporary point for that and just advertise it in the starting hubs? Like you have representatives from each group or a New Jersey representative say, "Hey, come to the sim real quick and take a look at this."
I like that, but I would also like a clean slate to really showcase your entire armory. You could go to New Jersey, but having everybody try and pull out their tanks at once kind of deal. I'm thinking like a homestead that's open all the time.
I'm not sure who made the point earlier about the fact that it's not necessarily, I mean, it's a hostile environment to bring someone in that has no idea what's going on for the first time. They're going to freak the fuck out when they meet Dark Sleeper or, you know, I mean, I'm not trolling you, bud, but I'm just saying it's a shocking experience for somebody who has no idea.
That's why I said bring in a New Jersey representative or a Project Genesis representative, people that we know can be courteous and polite.
I mean, going somewhere else, I'm, countering my idea and saying keep it in one space, but I think there was a point that someone made about it. Maybe bringing someone for the first time into this environment may not be the right thing to do. Bring them to a place where we have, it's more calm and they can focus on that without people, doing stuff to them when they're.
I'm going to do a lot of things to them.
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
I have such wonderful sites to show them.
Also, for the benefit of the stream, I have put up the image of the trophy that Kobe has.
Oh, really?
It is two people in SL avatars with one holding the other by the neck and pointing a gun at their head.
Sounds like some Danny Dom pics to me.
That's
but
beautiful.
It's amazing.
So I agree with
I have a question though.
That's great.
Why aren't they black?
Oh no, Pete.
I mean, if you want to make a black one, go ask one of your meshers to mesh a black one, and I'll make it a trophy.
I'll go fucking do it right now. I'll go pay Sky to do it.
All right, if you mesh a black one, I'll make it a second place trophy, and I'll say that it's also sponsored by PSC.
Yeah.
Second place should have the gun in the stomach. Third place, maybe a little lower.
Third place should be just two furries yiffing.
Yep.
Wow.
I have made a participation
Maybe next time.
That's another tournament altogether.
So, Kenny, what were you saying?
I was gonna make the suggestion. It would be nice, your idea, but just what I was gonna say, I'm sure we've done like this anyways, is that the way you see military booths at the Sci-Fi Expo, they're always really nicely done, and I think if you were gonna do a military expo, you would have to open it to more than just Linden Lab combat system. But it would be very nice to see like all the different groups have their own little parcel, and because it's not like got as much, but like there wouldn't be as many stands, I think groups would have quite a good chance to basically design their own little parcel. And
All right, now we have an entirely different platform to argue with each other on.
oh, speaking of arguing, Dark, weren't we going to preview
Hello.
our show at this meeting?
Oh yeah, me and Kenny are going to start an SLMC talk show.
Flippy, they
That's
took
pretty
your
much
job.
it.
They did.
Like a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late night with Flippy Marvin.
It's gonna be a talk show. We're gonna have guests on it. It's kind of like
We're gonna call
it'd
it
be
Frey
kind of
Live.
like Eric Andre. Yeah, Frey Live. It's Eric
Can I get
Andre,
back to
the
the
SLMC
subject
show.
of the SLMC for a minute?
I have something to mention.
Because I'd like to just say that maybe we could concentrate our resources and, like you saying, instead of having a whole sim that's separated from people have to hear about it and go there, and we're depending on our advertising capabilities only and our outreach. What if we looked and did a little research to events that are already going on that we might be able to also piggyback onto that are already advertising, that are already bringing a big crowd in, then we can kind of be part of that event and see and kind of, take a little bit of what they're already doing and to help us. And then maybe
Gotchas.
also
So
do
like the fucking conventions, gotchas, stuff that
Yeah.
we typically historically have already been involved in, just not repping the SLMC, repping each other's, repping our individual groups.
We should use those as resources for that because there's already crowds. We need to go.
But
where
we
they're
already tried to get Terminators in SL football, and they didn't let us.
I think what
Well-
remains is the Sci-Fi Con, and I think people already do that. KPC normally have a very good booth at most Sci-Fi Cons.
Well, that's good on them then, because I'm not sure what happened with their sim and everything, but they seem to appear in groups and disappear quite often.
The problem is with organizing an event like that and then using the piggybacking kind of thing is that you'd have to get all militaries to piggyback off of a con, and
well, not really.
Whether or not
Yeah,
they
we
get
could do it
accepted.
together.
It's up to your
We could do it
own
together.
I think we
SLMC
should
to
have
organize.
SLMC convention in real life.
Hang on. I was gonna say that at the end of the day, each and everybody is their own group. How would that work? How would we get everybody together to go to a con and then just suddenly make a?
Well, no.
Wait
we
a
just-
second. What did I just walk
okay.
back into?
All right. So actually, a good way to do this is what Genesis. One of the main topics of Genesis is, which is using New Jesse as a, entry point / combat center on its own, is advertise New Jesse, or if you guys want to advertise Brazil, whatever, saying go to the sim. It's really cool. You do combat here, and then we're there, and we talk to these people. We talk to these new people after they get used to getting in combat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think we made a point last meeting about how we want to encourage SLMC leaders and admins to start sending out recruiting parties to New Jesse and to Brazil and being more having more outreach to the new people.
I don't want
I'm going to drop a Scourge of Worlds on the new people and then ask them, how did you enjoy your experience in the SLMC?
Boy.
And if they say they loved it, they can join
getting back
PSC.
to the topic, what we could do is, the question is, how could we organize and make a single movement as a group and event to go and piggyback onto a larger event where there's already a crowd? So what we could do is find out when these events are happening that are big, find out if they'll let us go there and do that for starters. Once that's all cleared, then we can say, okay, this is the date of it. Everybody get their little packages together. We'll all meet at New Jesse. We'll get on to our our Discord here. We'll all just go, okay, here we go. Let's go set up now. We'll have a time and a date. We'll know when that event happens. We'll all go as a group. We'll all, have it all cleared. We'll have our spaces. We'll go set up, and we'll do it as a group on a certain day at a certain time. Like when we have this meeting, for instance, how we can all come together for that. We could all come together for
Guys,
this
I have to poop. Hold on.
as well.
The problem with that is that things like the Sci-Fi Con, because they're not SLMC related, they're not going to be like, oh, you guys all, like, if you guys, the SLMC wanted to share a booth, that's fine, but, I'm pretty sure, like, I know, not Coercion, but KPC and Chaos, it costs $30 for a booth, so normally, Haven will go buy a booth for KPC, and Chaos goes buys a booth for Chaos, but, and now, maybe they might, I'm not saying, like, Haven wouldn't, but if you went to Haven and went, hey, I would like a booth for Raven Raiders here, Haven doesn't run the convention, and don't take this wrong way or anything, but I don't think Haven would turn around and go, okay, here's $30, go get your group of booth, knock yourself out.
It's either that's why I'm saying we either use a hub as a way to represent us. We can all be there and hang out at that booth, but it would be better if we were trafficking people to a neutral sim where they could just go shoot the piss at each other with guns and grenades to basically start that snowball going instead of just going join a group. That was the main focus.
Right.
I get that, and I think that'd be better as well if you have a booth and it's like for instance, the Project Genesis booth, and we have everybody from all the different groups there. So people show up to the sim and they're like, "Oh, I want to go stand in the spot where the 30 people are," and then we can send them to Brazil. And we can send.
You need to calm down.
We've tried this a few times actually.
Hey, all of these furries have glowing armor and they're blatantly gay. I'm gonna go hang out with them.
Hey, some of the biggest groups have been all furries. You look at 2142, you look at Vanguard. Hey, it works.
And then they died.
And Ordo.
And then they died from like constant fucking infighting because that's all furries fucking do.
Is that
racist? Guys,
back on the subject. Come on, guys.
One at a time.
Can I ask if I'm sorry there's 3 AN people in here right now, but like 2 of them aren't talking. So I'm gonna I want to
get out.
I wanted to know if we could maybe, because I've definitely been trying already to kind of go out and find places to recruit people and draw people into the SLMC, but there are a lot of different places around the grid that have mixed feelings about the Second Life military community. If they know about us, or if they don't know about us, it's hard to get them interested in it because it's not their cup of tea. And then we end up kind of wasting a lot of time and just sort of jumping around trying to see if maybe we could even get a bite at all. So I was wondering if anybody knew of any places that were actually good for this. I know the AN has had a couple of booths up at sci-fi conventions and stuff, and those don't really get anybody. Like we see, like
zombie.
This is the best way, Proteus, and I'm going back. I'm going based off the 2 weeks I've been running around the grid recruiting people. As I go to sandboxes, typically where you have people who kind of start getting creative with SL. Usually in a more of a military fashion because they like guns, they see freebie guns. I've seen people in fucking 7th gear running around all the damn time, and I just simply talk to them. I just kind of chill with them for a little bit, say, hey, how you doing? Talk to them about combat stuff and see if they're interested. Sometimes they're just role players. They don't want to do anything remotely combat, but sometimes you can hook them into the SLMC and say, hey, maybe join KPC and check us out.
Inviting people to do Slob Bob roleplay isn't recruiting.
Yes, I'm trying to be serious. Thank you.
That's an important point there, because if we go to if sandboxes are some of the most effective places, then that's different from getting a booth at a convention somewhere. I've done booths at conventions, and what those really oftentimes seem to be is it really only attracts the people who are already going to be into that anyway, and the people who are already doing those things. But I mean, the AN started in sandboxes, and so did a lot of other groups, and I think that you're onto something there. But we're not going to be able to pull off booths at sandboxes unless we're doing some like anti-auto return stuff. But we can like gather in sandboxes.
You can just fly by every now and then and just drop some booths and move on with your day. I've done that a few times. I really didn't get any hits off of that. Same thing with the sci-fi conventions. When we did sci-fi conventions, it wasn't a whole lot of hits because there's just so much bullshit going on. It's a good way to get the SLMC.
Trying to make a ship that just drops out a physical PSC outpost. It's just
That'd
gonna
be
drop
awesome.
physical PSC booths on like people. We're just gonna fly it around in New Jersey.
It automatically enlists them into your group and ranks them up and gives them all their armor.
Yeah,
and-
just give them all commander.
Yeah.
So final boom all the
anyway,
way, baby.
I think
Wait,
sci-fi conventions would be better for showing off the community than it would be showing off individual groups. When every time I did a convention, we really only got like 1 or 2 members there the entire convention. It wasn't really all that interesting. But people would come by and check us out, and then just move on to the next booth and forget about it. So
This. How about this? Instead of focusing on less, I'm going to go there and try to recruit people for my army, right? You're going to do that. You're going to do that. And we're not doing that. Let's do this instead. Let's go there and let's try to recruit people to our community instead.
that's what I'm saying.
And then all
Why
we got to do is
why don't we just go back to 2007 and recruiting weapons testing sandbox? That was fun.
That's where I am right now.
But what I'm saying,
Are there
instead of
even any
making it a
weapon testing
recruiting
sandboxes left?
center,
Yes, absolutely.
instead of making it a recruiting center and trying to do applications and all that, let's just relay the people from there to New Jersey and then take it from there. You know, then we can have our separate booths there, and then they can walk around. They'll be separated from that whole sci-fi stuff and all that crap you said was going on that's distracting, and they won't go from booth to booth. If we relay them from there and put them in our controlled environment where only our stuff is there, they'll go booth to booth, but they'll be going around booth to booth within the genre of joining the community rather than looking at somebody's who knows what and some other completely different situation. You know, so we'll get them to come here. They'll see the place. They'll have options to pick from an army if they want, or they can just go do combat, or they can do the little training thing. But we need to get them and bring them over here.
What if we all just took all of our armies and just abandoned them and went and played PlanetSide 2 and eventually died?
Bruh, fuck
sounds
that
like a plan.
game.
I love the game.
There's an army that did that
So great.
recently. What were they
I'd
called?
be okay with that.
Ordo
Oh yeah, them.
and Vanguard, actually.
I
I'm
play
being facetious,
PlanetSide
by the
too.
way.
Let's
I'm
do
being
it.
totally facetious.
Okay, so I don't think anybody needs to treat these things as if any of them are mutually exclusive. We can actually do both, you know, cons as well as going to Freebie Galaxy or other high traffic areas and putting up little stands and directing them to the hubs. We can also advertise, you know, singular groups as well as Project Genesis, you know, pushing them to the hubs. I think that everybody who wants to, you know, help the community, help Project Genesis should, you know, help advertise for Project Genesis, but you know, we can't hold anybody to that. And any advertisement for the community is advertisement for the community, regardless of where it goes. I think it just falls onto who's going to take the initiative to do these things. Like, who does it fall on? Because we can point fingers all day long and go, we should definitely do that. But you know, I mean, are there any volunteers as far as helping to create graphics and helping to find these hubs or what?
I mean, I can help you find hubs. I think
Yeah.
you, Silva, should physically be the person doing it. As far as asset creation and money goes, I think people from in this group can just, you know, throw money at you when they need it.
Yes, Silva.
Saliva, whatever the name is.
I'm officially changing my name to that.
So one thing
I have a motion to put forward.
Oh, and you.
Yeah.
She can be Saliva.
I
and
have something to
coin.
discuss.
I'm not sure why everybody struggles with it.
Yeah, I would like. I think it's an issue personally, but I would like Kit Longtail to answer for war crimes against Chaos during the Blood Fist Civil War.
Jesus Christ.
I also
Actually, the
deserve
only
an apology.
thing I want to ask Kit Foxtail is, when the fuck are you opening your sim?
I already did that. Fuck you.
Hey,
I want
Haven,
my
when are you
apology
opening your
address
sim?
again.
As far as getting a game plan together, Haven, I made a note. I'm gonna talk to you afterwards. If anybody else has any ideas of high traffic areas we should use, Rosie, I saw your idea for Freebie Galaxy. Yeah, like send those to me, and then I'll talk to Terminus, I'll talk to Kobe, and I'll talk to Keon as far as making graphics, and we'll throw stuff up. And for now, I guess I mean, we're gonna have to, you know, attach landmarks. Do we want the landmarks to be New Jersey, or do we want it to be Brazil, or should we split it up equally? Because I feel like there's
Can I interrupt you there for just a second? Because
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
I'm bringing this up as well. Brazil has been getting a ton of non-SLMC people in, and I don't mean to sound like a dick when I say this, but it's a lot more than New Jersey. People have been TPing in, and at first we were kind of like, okay, this is weird. But I'm sure Proteus has spoke to them as well. the people that TP in are simply just TPing in because they're like, oh, this looks very cool, and we say, why did you come here? And they go, oh, I just, Brazil. It's.
Yeah.
So as much as
Where's the
that's-
nude
as,
beach?
yeah, as much as that's a funny joke, like, haha, they're TPing in because Brazil. It's a really great way to advertise to people. So if groups could please come to Brazil and set up like their own booth here somewhere, like anywhere, just hit us up with something. People have been interested in the sim and what goes on here. Like
yesterday, I was talking to a university student who teleported in and they weren't even from Brazil. They were here for part of a class, and they thought that they were doing some sort of like world politics studies in a simulated environment or something, and they were like, what the hell is this? And then I told them all about the SLMC, and they were like, oh my god, I didn't have no idea.
All right.
Oh, Sila.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up a YouTube channel. So I mean, like, as much as I'm okay with shilling for Chaos all the time and having these meetings posted to Chaos's YouTube, that's hardly
You're doing a good job, son.
Yeah, it's hardly an unbiased approach. Do you want to start a YouTube channel for Genesis, or should I?
I actually have the Project Genesis Gmail already, so if that makes it easier, I can do that. I'm more than happy now that I'm like officially a completely neutral party. I'm more than happy to take on more projects as far as Project Genesis. So
Okay, can you make a YouTube channel, like give me access to it so I can just mirror all the videos and like make a second playlist?
yeah,
and
no
stuff?
problem. Speaking of, I was actually going to talk to you personally because Hadet is going to Blind to help me with the web development right now. Do you have the rest of those scripts and stuff?
I don't have these scripts. I don't know where they are either. Like, he never gave them to me.
Speaking of Hadet, is he actually gonna get something? Is he gonna get shit treated, or what's going on with that?
He's working on it. He's trying. He's gonna have to raise. He has to raise like $15,000 or like $30,000.
Does he have fucking ass cancer again?
No, he has his eyes. He's going literally blind. It's at the point where like he might actually lose his left eye, and it might be cheaper to just like lose his left eye and
Dude,
then
fuck
get both eyes
that.
treated.
He's like, dude, he's a fucking Nurgle follower. This should be like a good thing for him.
That's
Dude, at least
very-
he could wear a fucking eye patch. He could pull off the solid
the
snake
pirate.
look pretty
he
well.
would be a very good pirate. No, I'm actually as a side note, I'm helping him.
He could be punished to death.
Develop a website specifically to help raise money for whatever surgery he needs. But I'll bring that up next week if anybody wants
Yeah,
to.
I don't want to like talk
Make
about
sure that
anything
website's
he doesn't want.
public, please.
What?
Give him some money for that if he needs some help.
Yeah,
If
make
he
sure,
gets his
make
eye
sure we all
removed,
get
I
that
want
website.
It's next.
Give
Yeah,
me
we'll
his
talk
eye.
about it next week.
This
All
is
the
just
money
like
for a
God's
full sim and
revenge
we
on all the
who
furries
cares
he
about
grieved.
I mean, I'm at Freebie Galaxy right now, and Rosie has a very good point. There's not a single combat anything here except for Gore. There's a fucking Gore Hub advertisement, but there's nothing for the SLMC.
Terminus, if you're there, send me an IM if you can start on a graphic now as far as Project Genesis and the SLMC combat stuff. And then fuck it, we can do that today. That's no issue. Freebie Galaxy, and then what was the other suggestion?
There's a sandbox called Skids that usually has several advertisements available.
Skids?
Yeah, it's Skids. It's fucking anime bullshit. It's the dumbest fucking name, but their traffic is usually very high.
I don't see anywhere to put ads.
With or without formaldehyde, Dark Sleeper. Put it in vodka.
With
It's used
formaldehyde.
to it. Just put it in a bottle of vodka. It's probably used to it.
No, it won't work.
If we're done with that topic specifically, there was a really large topic that I want to get to before the end of the meeting because we discussed last week that it was going to take a lot of discussion, unless it
Okay, what
doesn't.
is it?
I think last week somebody brought up potentially making Project Genesis a universal spawn group so that there wasn't 8 different ones at a time.
Oh, right.
Being as Project Genesis seems to be more so neutral than either the Fray or New Jesse.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Does anybody know what attacker group has the most members in it? Opposing forces, Wars of Reality. I know we've got quite a few, but I'm probably not the most. But we should maybe think about who has the most already. That
Maybe,
way, there's
but the
not
issue
such
with
a
that is
yeah.
the issue with that is like if you begin making it so that that you have like a universal spawn group, you have to make sure that everyone's not going to abuse power in those spawn groups. Because the minute you decide upon a universal spawn group, suddenly you give people who are unrelated to your group power over your spawn and potentially your entire sim.
Just for that
It's a
one
major
parcel.
concern.
For the one parcel, as long as you don't deed it to the group, you should be fine. They can't
That's the
do it.
thing.
They can't
Like-
do anything.
Yes, you can.
Even if you just
You
have
can easily
the,
ban certain people. If you don't like somebody, you can easily just ban them from the group, and then they
That's
can't fight
true.
anywhere when
That's
you don't
true.
have a neutral
We
party.
could-
That's
See,
why
that's
you
the
just
issue.
make it so they can't ban any people.
I mean,
If they don't
Somebody's
want
gonna
it,
have
and
to
if
own
they
the
have
group,
having
is my
problems with
point.
it, they can just
Hi, Lurden. I didn't know you joined this chat.
well, there's valid points. There's always a upside and downside, but which one weighs more though? I mean, is it better to have already an established majority of the people that are involved in this already on the list, in the group, or should we try
I
to
don't think it
start
really makes
over?
the difference is when those people go to a new sim, they're gonna have to join that group anyway. So the
Yeah.
pain of switching a new group or dumping an old one really isn't that big of a deal. It's just making sure that if we do go to a new group, not a single party is able to fuck with that, and it's just left alone. It's literally just left alone, except for basic announcements for like a sim opening or closing, and other major important things.
Well,
I can
I've got
safely
an
say
idea
that.
on how that could work. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Welsh, but this will take a moment. What if the account or the group was made on an account, and that the only moderator role was that account, and thus if you needed something, the password and the information for the account would only be passed between the two representatives of the group for their LAN, for their hub, and thus if someone needed banned from the hub, I mean you could still ban people from your sim, but if someone needed banned from the hub, you would know that one of your representatives, like that account should never be on your sim unless it's one of your representatives on it. That way you know if that account is on your sim, and it's not one of your people on it, then you can basically be like, you can eject them, and then be like, okay, that wasn't someone on, that wasn't one of us.
Unfortunately, Dark Super has a point. Well, you would definitely know that doesn't, unfuck your sim if they've already done something.
Well, you also have a state
I-
manager, I mean, it might take 30 minutes to fix it, not even that, 5 at most.
Okay.
Let me
I
res like a whole bunch
personally-
of fucking hot air balloons in your sim and see how long it takes you to fix it.
I personally believe that a universal spawn group is more trouble than it's worth, but for those that do want it, perhaps maybe making two spawn parcels, one that's deeded to the universal spawn group and one that is deeded to a explicit spawn group might help both sides. Simply
That sounds extremely complicated.
It sounds
Why would
more
that
than.
be- Why would that be a problem?
Well, for all the reasons that a single universal spawn group would be more trouble than it's worth, two different spawn groups, one being a universal spawn group and then one being a normal.
Yeah, then why even make it?
Problems.
At the end of the day,
Yes.
you're
I
gonna
guess.
have the same situation where no matter, even if you have to use an old one or a new one, it's still going to be that same risk situation, because that's not going to change, because you're
At the
still
end
going to
of the
have
day,
some.
the Frey is a universal spawn group.
You're going to have people that could abuse it, no matter what, no matter if it's a new group or an old group. So I'm just saying, if you're going to do it and take that risk, you might as well use the weight and the positive factor that there's already shitloads of people involved. Let's just use the group that's most popular, and we're going to have to roll the dice on who's going to fuck you over anyway if we're going to do it.
Yeah,
The only reason it's brought up is because actually Project Genesis is currently the only group that already has every single party on the SLMC, and currently the only person
And the
who
Frey.
can, and currently the only people who can, access the land, powers are myself and Kane.
But
Myself.
that does sound
I'm
like
hesitant about
could be-
leaving obtain any sort of implied land powers in Brazil just yet. He's not held up his end of the bargain.
I was gonna say that
In the fray, all military leaders may
Yeah.
have spawn parcel
I
powers.
hate to say it, but if you're going with the most popular, it would be the Fray, and personally, the other person that pays for Brazil, I would prefer the Fray over Project Genesis, personally.
I would have to say that I'm against the idea of a universal spawn group simply because of the idea that somebody could fuck with your spawn parcel. And Project Genesis, while I do believe currently is quite neutral, there is
It could
always
change at any time.
the chance it could change.
I kind of agree on
I
Walt on
understand
that.
that.
I understand people were trying to want to use Fray, but the Fray is so much of a shit posting group for it to be a
If
good
somebody
spawn
did
group,
that,
period.
if somebody did that in the fray, like actually fucking abuse their land powers like that, I would seriously just fucking shit kick them.
Is it like a
What
kick
if
in
it
the
was
shit?
you though?
Or kick them?
I expect you to be the one to do it, Dark.
I
So
wouldn't
what do you
fucking do it.
You
I
wouldn't.
haven't abused the fray like once since its entire like creation.
Dark's got a code. Every man's got a code.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take your word on that then.
I mean,
Actually,
You're
fair
not a
point I just need
liar,
to make real
that's for
quick.
sure.
Hey, fair point I need to make real quick is an argument against the Fray. While the Fray has a lot of people in it, the Project Genesis group is the only one that's neutral. It does not have ownership by anybody who's operating in the military currently, where the Fray does.
I mean, you know, I could just like disband PSC again if that's what you're saying.
I do
Okay,
think
go ahead,
Kane's status
disband
as an owner might need to be reassessed for
It's like,
Genesis,
you know.
just because the situation
All right,
changed
disband it.
since we started.
Okay, here we go. I'm doing it.
Hey Dark, want to join AN?
Yeah.
He's technically still in, I think. I don't think we ever kicked him out.
Yeah, he's an E2.
Also,
The best
speaking from personal experience,
I'm in
it's
the
a-
Alliance Navy specifically just to trigger Maya Cosmos' autism.
it's a pain in the ass to like get people to get notice rights in the fray. Like in the past with Chaos, we've had to like rely on like specific people who weren't even like owners or not owners, overlords in Chaos, just to send notices, like either Hadet or like Wyatt or something. Like we couldn't say, "Hey Jacob or Sarah, send a notice in the friend." Like I can't. I don't have notice rights.
Yeah,
like,
me
shit
neither.
Like that happens.
I never had it. I have to listen to everybody else and watches everybody else interrupt everything I'm doing with all their notices. But I couldn't say shit. It's a little bit frustrating, so I just cut that shit off, not even have it be part of it at all.
I'd much rather have a spawn group that's completely quiet, or at least for major announcements, other than just a shit posting group, which is why the fray would be a bad idea. Period.
The
If
fray
you
would
guys
be a
want to
good
shit
idea
Yeah,
because
this-
it's the most popular group.
I
I
certainly
mean,
agree with
you
having
could
a
just
spotlight
turn off.
or
I
not.
mean, you could just turn off notices. It wouldn't be any different than not having notices in opposing forces. So
That's
really,
what I did. That's exactly what I did.
I mean,
That's what I did, and
the
then
amount
I
of
left the
shit
fray
posting
recently
that
because I
happens,
didn't do
the amount of
anything.
shit posting on the fray that happens is like far less than what you would see in the SL military news group anyway, and people still like shit posting that group anyway. So
I thought the ship posting was always cross posted.
It is.
actually, I've limited shit posting to a degree to where Wyatt is only allowed to post one notice every 24 hours.
At the end of the day, if people want to use
And I also ban chat spammers. So, you know, if you, I mean, other than that, it's just regular fucking things that people talk to each other about in the community, just in a fucking group window. It's literally no different than them talking about it like openly in New Jersey while you're there. Were you
I think
gonna
it may be
mute
better to
everybody in New
consolidate-
Jersey?
I think it may be better to consolidate everything under the Project Genesis umbrella, just in general.
sounds like the
Probably so.
opening to
Probably so, yeah, because we can all be part of that, and nobody.
And every single and every major military leader has some sort of administration or modability to that channel, as well as pretty much. I mean, there's no real harm. Is there any harm or way to do?
They do in
harm?
the fray too, to be honest.
Is there any way to do harm with parcel powers? The ability to set your groups
No.
to spawn with that land.
I mean, the only thing I'm concerned about is if someone running in and just mass ejecting everybody, which only 2 people I think in Genesis even have that power.
So keep people from ejecting them.
Right. So
Um,
remove the eject power in general, so people can't be ejected from Project Genesis land.
Yep.
And second, make it so anybody can invite to the starting position and make the starting rank or role in the group have the ability to set their land to that group.
The only thing that's needed in Genesis is just, you know, an officer from every group just having the ability to have notice rights, so they say, "Hey, our sim's closed. Hey, our sim's open," and that's it. It's really
Yeah,
all
and
we need to
nobody
be
else.
announcing.
That gets away from the shit posting and notices, and you can keep the shit. But like everybody can be talking in
Everyone
chat.
can be in the fray all they want and shit post, but
Yeah.
there needs to be something separate that is, just
I've said that previously that we eliminated a group chat for everyone but
I
crew
just think
so
it's
that
funny
people
that
can take
people
their
are
shit
trying
posting to the
escape
fray.
shit posting when the whole community just shit posts to each other like every day, no matter where they are.
Well,
One
we're
good
saying
thing about
consolidate
the oh, go ahead.
posting
I'm
other
sorry.
places so that it's
We should just make a group called Project Shitpost.
Can somebody make that?
I'm gonna make a spawn
please?
called shit posting the fray.
As much as it is nice, honestly, I don't think it matters what spawn group you have, because when it comes down to reality, the region ban
Nobody's
list-
gonna use it.
The region ban, yeah, well, no one's gonna use it. You could say, okay, let's make Project Genesis the spawn group, and I guarantee you, I think 2 sims would probably change it, and no one else would. And aside from that, on the plus side of it, honestly, it could be done very easily. It doesn't matter what happens with it, only for the fact that, I mean, if you need someone banned, if that desperately, if you're like, oh no, this person's going to destroy my... The region ban list now holds 300 people. I don't think there's 300 people active in the SLMC at this moment in time. But even
Also, speaking on that, you're saying, oh, if only 2 sims adopt it. Well, like, if we're talking about, like, oh, let's have a universal spawn group, and it, like, 2 people switch to that, that's already good enough, because, like, you have 1 less spawn group on people's group list. That's a win in my book.
I will, as I said...
Yeah. The only reason I brought it up is because I was getting Unfortunately, the people I was getting complaints from are no longer... they're not in this meeting currently, but they were basically complaining that they had 8 spawn groups and they were getting tired of it.
Jeez.
Yeah,
One good thing about
I've been
having
fucking arguing against this for like the longest fucking time, but
Honestly,
nobody in the community is going to trust each other to that level to even do it.
I will, because I don't give a shit.
Okay, here's your
so
free
I'm
powers.
I'm down for it. Go ahead and
We
do
just
it.
we just send
The
you
one
these
thing
free
I want to
powers.
say about it is that's good that if it's the Genesis project, attacker spawn parcels, is that we all are in this venue here, this platform, and we can all talk to each other. So if it's within the group and say somebody's causing trouble, when we could, we could all say as a community, say, hey, that's not right, and then we have more
The
power
only
as a
thing with that
group.
is we've
on
we've
that
already said-
topic of like banning people from the spawn group, that way they
That's
can't
exactly what
like
I'm trying to
attack
say.
people. It's like, well, okay, well that just sounds like a new wave of like blockading, just like paint it a different color.
Well, maybe if it was applied, maybe if it was implied entirely to groups as a blanket, sure. But if it's implied to individuals, say if they go around and dox somebody in the unlikely event that happens, okay, you don't want somebody to be a part of your community. They're going to do that.
Oh my god, we already went over this. We're not going over this again.
Yeah, and
I
I'm
just
just
told him-
gonna
I
I'm gonna
said,
state
tell 'em
automatically.
to stop it, is what I said.
If there is any problem, even from people who are leading separate groups, because I don't think I've clarified this before, your group is not going to get removed from Project Genesis, period. If you personally are causing problems within the group or within the meeting, and it gets to a point where we feel like the meeting cannot continue because of whatever, action you're taking, we will ask you if you are the leader of the group, or we will go to the leader of the group if you're not that person, and we will ask for a different representative for Project Genesis. But we
JTAC is the
never,
leader of PSC.
but we never want to be in a position where an army is excluded, no matter what they've done or how disliked they are by the grid.
I guess what I'm saying is we're stronger together than if the parcel is part of this major group and we're all together with it. We can all discuss it if there's an issue and it's all on the same, about the same thing. We're all part of that group. Whereas, if it's the fray, none of us own that group. We're just part of it. Versus we kind of more vested in this and as a community.
I don't.
The risk is the same. The only difference is we'll be able to discuss it if there's any issues, and no one will have exclusive powers over the.
You've single-handedly convinced me that having Genesis as a spawn group is a horrible idea, because no, I'm not being sarcastic either. So
Okay.
Sila has basically, in the beginning of this meeting, and me too, have confirmed that this group is not meant to administrate people. If we begin making this a spawn group and give people administrative problems, we completely go against what this group was even made for in the first place. So this group should never be a spawn group because it'll just like put in people's heads, hey, we can administrate things with this group. Let's take advantage of that, when that's not the point at all.
Yeah.
You know, I have to agree with you there.
I would say I would never ever use it to administrate, but I think none of that really matters, because if it's not something we can come to an agreement on, then it's not really a point to be brought up any further.
At that point, your best bet is the Fray.
So what's the huge advantage of, what's the major advantage of having a single spawn group?
The only advantage of having
the fact that you don't have to join and leave multiple fucking spawn groups.
So the big thing is,
that's the only advantage.
For content creators who like need to network with other people or blog, because like we actually had someone in Chaos who was a blogger and like could only join one spawn group at a time and crap like that. There's a lot of things in SL you can do that requires multiple groups for it. And like if you're in the SLMC, either you need to like leave and join groups constantly, which is a pain in the ass, or like you need to set aside those groups and like constantly be leaving groups that like you'd prefer not to leave and shit like that. I mean, like, yeah, you have a lot of group space, but it seems like it's never enough.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to understand what was the main purpose behind.
And like if you're say an Alliance Navy or Coercion, well, I'm assuming Coercion, I don't know for sure, but like a lot of the larger groups, at least that aren't Chaos, because we condensed it recently, like have also multiple groups within their group, because like there's like multiple divisional groups and stuff like that that are like entirely like if you're joining the SLMC, you're basically signing up to join like 12 different groups, and it shouldn't be that way.
Raven, do you want the Freya as your spawn? I will give you powers like right now, straight up.
I need to talk to the rest of the command about that and see how they feel about it before I make any decision. But I'm open for it. If you know, I mean, I'd like to do it and have it. If I'm going to go there, I'd like to, you know.
I've always been more than willing to give people land powers over their spawn parcels, as far as Frey being a universal spawn group is concerned, because I frankly just don't care. Because if somebody fucks with that, then we can just assign somebody else to take care of it in their group and just go from there.
Mm-hmm. Well, the
I mean, so far in the Fray, I mean the ban list on the Fray is like only limited to like what, 4 people, and one of those people is like Goggles McGee, which fucking nobody likes, because all he does is just spam shit.
Hey Dark, give me Fray notice rights.
Yeah.
How many fucking Chaos members already have notice rights? Jesus Christ.
Can I have Frey
Not enough
rights too? Because I never had them.
I don't think anyone in Raven Raiders has them, so yeah, sure. Okay. I mean, if I give you those fucking land powers anyway, you'll have them regardless.
I'll be willing to make.
I'll just give it to him right now.
I'll be willing to cut out another parcel.
What's your I mean, if that's what you want to do, but what's your display name?
My display name, Blase Blonde. My regular name is Raven Izon, but if you're talking about my nickname.
Well, display
Raven,
names are like the first thing.
Are you using a compressor on your microphone?
Excuse me?
Are you using a compressor or a studio microphone?
I'm using a studio microphone, yes I am. I'm in a recording studio, actually. I do recording. I'm a musician and I have a studio.
I was trying to figure it out.
Can you manage and record my band?
I can record your band. I can help you with some management. But
I want you to record my rap group.
Well,
you started a group without me?
I do I can master some of your recordings and mix them if you send me tracks and stuff like that.
All right. I'll send you tracks. My group's name is Niggers 6 Feet Under.
God damn.
Wow, that's badass, dude.
Yeah.
That's edgy as fuck. All right,
we're
so
hardcore.
I'm probably gonna have to decline you as a client. But anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, so I'll probably make a new little parcel for the Fray. I don't think Vardis is going to want to get rid of the Warriors of Reality. I gotta be honest.
I just gave you notice rights on the Fray, by the way. They might not work until you relog.
Okay, that's cool. I don't have a lot to say there anyway, but sometimes.
Oh, I know you do. Trust me, I know you do. Don't even try to bullshit me on that.
Were there any other points that people wanted to go over before we left?
Oh crap.
Yes.
Ex-wife just called.
If Even Zero apologizes to me, I'll give his notice rights back in the Fray.
Welcome to the dark.
He has to
There is
apologize.
something I do want to
Apologize.
bring up. It's probably one of the last things I'd probably want to bring up in the meeting for today.
I think it's very important. I think a lot of Haven Zero's anger towards me is because I took away his notice rights. And I'm willing to make peace with him over this issue finally. I'm being very diplomatic right now.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Dark, am I still
You cut off. What?
am I still banned?
Am I still banned?
You were banned for 5
No.
minutes, Sam. Stop trying to
Okay,
make
you're
points. I
unbanned.
already said
You're
this to
unbanned.
you. You were banned from the class for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, so can any of you guys can hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The point I wanted to make was that one of the things that the SLMC suffers a lot on is content creation. There are plenty of groups out there that don't have dedicated content creators.
Yeah,
and
because
a
they're
lot
all
of the
fucking
time we
Jews. Yeah, because they're all fucking.
and a lot of the time we substitute by having other people from other groups try to give us weapons and stuff. One of the things I was thinking of was setting up a network of people who are willing to help other groups, so that there is a group of people who other militaries or starting groups can go to ask for help with
I am
regards
all
to content
about
creation, because
that.
it is not easy to access.
I mean, that was one of the things that was kind of like what I was talking about with the training sim could also be like a help or education sim for the SLMC.
Yeah, the eventual idea is to get a bunch of no modify gear together, and like if the group like can use it effectively, like it can be made specifically for them, like with minimal modifications and stuff like that. Like it's down the line. It's easy to say, oh, let's have that now, but it's a lot more difficult to actually put it down and have it out and ready to go.
Well, we could also get the people who are willing to do that together in the same room and perhaps discuss.
Right, we already do that. Like that's what the Genesis developers are for. Like if people want to make things and mesh things and like give it to the community, they're welcome to be a developer.
I'm willing to do that. I'm totally willing to do that.
Oh, look, it's Kobe.
Oh look, it's Kobe.
Oh look, it's Kobe.
Kobe.
Hey, Tyro.
Hi.
Can you invite Wyatt Vanistock?
Why?
JTAC's not here, so I need my replacement.
Oh, okay.
Just make sure he doesn't do anything interesting.
Does he ever?
Once again,
yes.
I'm going to remind people, content creators within your group, if you have freebies that you would like to give out to the community, please feel free to use notice rights in Project Genesis to give out your freebies. Also, make sure we're gonna go through all these freebies and we're gonna gather them up and we're gonna create a freebie bin that we would like to post, I believe, in New Jersey as well as Brazil.
Make sure it's not a fucking Google box either.
I have some things
Well played.
that I'm willing to update and give out as freebies. Could I have notice right?
For AH?
No, I mean give out freebies to the community, basically.
Yeah, no, you need an admin role within the Project Genesis group.
So I'd have to give it to somebody to give out.
No. You need to be given the admin role. Who are the representatives for AH? Is it you and Sam Hain?
That's me and Sam, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll add it to you right now and you should have those.
Thanks.
Unless
people-
anybody else has anything else, I think we're done.
Okay, well. Okay.
This is addressed towards Sam Hine. Sam Hine, can you let Total Labs back into AH? He is a content creator.
That is not for the Genesis chat.
Yeah, it is.
I was going to say, this is an issue me and Sam are discussing. Unfortunately, I can't give any answers at the time whether Total Labs will be allowed back in. I am not even actually fully aware of the situation, so Sam needs to tell me about that later on. But essentially, we will be discussing that So
Also, in case nobody knows yet, Wyatt Vanistock is currently in political asylum within the Rhodinian embassy, and we have evidence stating that he did not grief Raven Sim.
All right, listen, we already know he did, dude. We're not gonna sit there and get into this.
Where's your proof?
Yeah, this is all outside the entire.
No, this is
Um,
relevant,
per-
but it's just
Yeah, this
everybody knows who
personal
Goldberg Shekelstein
Um,
Buckle is.
Did you actually disband PSC, Darksleeper?
Yeah,
That was
yeah, we're
fast.
disbanded now. Ask Wyatt.
Already?
He's crazy like that.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
I had to disband PSC so Frey could be a neutral combat thing.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
So wait, all the Brazilians that you have in your group are going to be homeless?
No,
I
they're
don't
gonna
think our sleeper will
they're
recruit
gonna
Brazilians.
restart Megiddo.
Oh, nice.
Like
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Wyatt get kicked out already?
I think Wyatt has something to share. I know Wyatt has something to say.
Wyatt
Thanks,
always
Brad.
has something to say.
Thank you.
Wyatt, what did you like to bring to this meeting today? Okay, Wyatt
He
died.
said he got kicked out. I don't know who kicked him out.
Okay, put Wyatt back in.
It was not myself. I will say this though. If you no longer have PSC, I'm not sure you can bring Wyatt in as a representative.
Plot.
We're
Lawyered.
Oh,
no, dude.
checkmate.
We're, no.
I'm not sure.
I have
Oh, no,
nothing to
sorry,
say
Doug,
against
you're
that.
done.
We're the Frey now. No, we're the Frey
No,
now.
sorry,
We're
the
the
Frey
Frey
not a party of
representative.
this
The Frey is actually part of
wanna-
the community,
I
so
wanna-
you're
Oh,
wrong.
hold on.
I want to thank you very much for participating for your
Style, I'm gonna come over to New Rome Sim and nuke the shit out of you. I hope you know that.
Don't you dare.
Well, Mark
Don't
just
you
wants Wyatt to
Coming
sub
over.
in.
New Rum Sim, don't you do it.
Like, he has a right to bring someone in to sub in. Like, I mean,
Yeah, where's my
Right.
other
He's got other
fucking
people in his group.
representative?
You might
Bring
ruffle
Wyatt
their
in.
jimmies if you do that.
Wyatt is my stand-in representative, though. It was
No,
already
he's your
decided
little
in the
girl
group.
to your daddy Dom.
And Dark
Bring someone who's actually
No.
serious.
And
Oh,
Dark-
Haven, did you get my my motion towards you?
Sure.
Girl to
yeah.
the daddy
Pooping.
Dom.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
such
give
a
you back.
rhythm
I'll
to
give
it.
you back Frey notice rights if you apologize to me
To what? For what?
for abusing Frey notice rights.
Sky was doing the same exact thing I was doing. You just decided to kick me.
Haven, look, I'm willing to set aside our differences. I know you're angry because I took away your notice rights, but we can.
Oops.
What?
What?
He's no longer an army. Doesn't need to be here. I got permission, so.
Anybody actually confirm?
When he
job,
brings
good
back
job.
PSC tomorrow, we'll bring him back in.
All right.
about
I think that's the end to the meeting today. Once again, if you need to go over the stream for if you want to participate, if you want to volunteer for any of the projects, I'm going to be creating the text channel tonight. Right now, I'm adding Terminus. I'm adding the people who are currently in crew to the text channel, and as well as Nicole. And then you can discuss that further.
Something I want to throw out there.
Really quick.
I'm kind of having an open house meeting for all military leaders to discuss some of the improvements that All Hallows needs to make. If you guys are interested,
Wait, so you're actually telling? Hold on.
I'm having it around. Let me finish, Haven. I'm having it around 6:30 SLT. So if you guys can make it, let me know. Private. Email.
All right, I'm heading out, guys.
All right, have fun, Silva. So you're telling me that you're actually going to invite SLMC leaders to criticize your group, and you're going to listen to them a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing, Sam.
It's a roast.
Honestly, that's honestly the greatest. That is the best idea I've ever heard from military ever. I have to.
I
to
actually
be honest,
think every military should do that.
Because
I'm actually
I do want to make improvements to the group. I know that there are some flaws that there's some flaws we can fix. There's some flaws we can't really fix in the moment. So I've already invited Valix, so I'm pretty much inviting everyone else. Remember, this is more of not an actual roast. It's more to help improve on some things that you guys know that needs improvement from the group. So it's not entirely a roast. It's more of a discussion, an open discussion for all military leaders.
Just be wary, Sam Hain, that it may end up being not like you want it to be.
Yeah, because here's the thing, Sam, and this is the reason why I talk to people outside of the SLMC, but I don't talk to everybody outside the SLMC. There are certain people who will just say the problem is this and be constructive about it, and there are other people that will just roast the shit.
Well, I mean, Sam Hain, I actually like this idea, and I'm being genuine about this, not because I like fucking with Sam Hain sometimes. I do believe that you guys being open enough to at least hear the criticism is enough to give my respect. Also, if someone's just being an asshole, you can just kick you can just kick him out of your group or Discord or whatever.
Sam.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I was planning on doing. It's not going to be happening on my sim. It's going to be happening in a private Discord, an open Discord for all SLMC peeps that I'm going to be setting up. So
you
yeah,
realize Sam is a masochist, right? And he's like,
excuse me, Raymond. What?
I'm the masochist in this
he's
relationship.
creating.
No.
Creating an event for himself.
Welsh is the masochist. I'm the sadist. There's a difference.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had it back. My bad.
So I'll go ahead and make an open channel for all SLMC leaders, and I'll go ahead and post it in here. It's going to be around 6:30 SLT. If you guys can be there, be there. Remember, if you're just going to be there to shitpost, I really don't give a fuck. And if you're there just to be an asshole and not talk about improvement, I'll just slap the fuck out of you and kick you out of this. That's going to be plain and simple.
Well, I think All Hallows is like perfect. What can be improved, really?
Well, first off, some of the
honestly,
halls actually need
I
some
give
training.
up.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
And,
you guys need to actually develop tactics, not just gear. I mean, when I'm just gonna be perfectly real with this. Whenever I fight you guys, it's not KPC versus All Hallows. It's the hero Sam Hain versus KPC, and everyone else is cowering in the spawn.
Yeah. Well, see,
Kind
this
of
is
funny.
Yeah, I know, and that's kind of there's going to be a new thing into play with my guys. Is that if they do not go down to fight, there is going to be an actual disciplinary system. If they do not actually fight, they either get a chance of losing their rank, or they're going to be, dropped back to a merc. And
Here,
that's
Sam, I've got a couple things for you.
goes.
I'm going to give you Coercion Sprint Jumping course. We give it out to any group who wants it, by the way.
I'm sorry, but no.
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 What is wrong with Coercion Sprint Jump?
Fuck that course.
Well, it's
so many of my
definitely-
members will rage quit because of
I'm
that.
sorry, but no.
No.
Okay.
No.
And it's not a
To be
print
fair,
jump.
boost jumps now. It's not even necessary to do print jumping.
Stuff that we can talk about later on.
Yeah, stuff we can talk about later at 6:30 SLT.
Did I just hear that somebody said it's not even necessary to do prim jumping anymore?
Yeah.
I did.
I think I heard that too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lunacy. Because there's
Yeah,
many
that's-
times, even in our sim, that prim
So
jumping.
not just that though, but we're also going to be doing a few changes with our armory and also adding a few things that I want to address. To most leaders, I've already talked about this with Tyro. I've already told this to a few people that have constantly been coming to our sim, hanging out. So pretty much I'm going to openly address this to everyone around 6:30 SLT. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make a channel and invite you guys.
Oh, PSC's back, you guys.
Sweet.
Yay!
Oh, yay, shocker. Nobody saw that coming.
5 minutes ago.
I want to be in the cool kids club.
Come on, guys. I'm going to say whatever I can to get my way.
Oh, now KPC's all about love, okay?
KPC's all about love and respect. Right? Yeah, the meeting's been over for a while.
That's why we're shit
Has it?
talking.
Oh, okay.